these boats. Crazy, eh? Well, we're underway, as you can no doubt tell, in this extraordinary scenery. It's glorious. And our goal today is to get up to the northeast corner of Ibiza, and prepare to cross to Mallorca, basically speaking. Look at these cliffs, they're really beautiful. And there's certainly no lack of mega yachts around. Big motor yachts everywhere you look up. Everywhere, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but in every bay that you see pretty much has a big motor yacht anchored in it. Well, we're about to try to get through a little gap between two islands. It's supposed to be 4.5 to 5 meters deep with a couple of charted rocks in it. There's a sailboat in front of us approaching it now, which is always very useful. Watching how they go about it. We're coming up to it, as I say, about a mile away. Fingers crossed. Down to 20 feet. $16. $14 feet. $13. $17, $19, $20. That's it. We're across it. Very exciting. Well, isn't that lovely? Through the gap, and we're wing on wing, dead downwind, engine off, 4 and a bit knots. Glorious. Hazel doing the same in head, up ahead. Isn't that lovely? Picking up speed with the breeze. One thing that's clear is that Ibiza is a truly beautiful island. You need to come back here and explore properly. It's been a bit too short for its own good. And the only person to blame for that is me, of course. It really does look lovely. Loads and loads of anchorages, like this one behind me now. Beautiful little spots. It's got a lot of potential for a cruising boat. Well, yeah, Ibiza is truly gorgeous, but there's one little problem, and that is if you want to anchor anywhere near a town where there may be, you know, some restaurants and bars or whatever you could go ashore to, it is very, very busy in the high season. High season, July when we were there. I suspect it applies to July and August.
So we made our way up to the very northeast corner of Ibiza, a place called Cala Portinach, I believe. My pronunciation may not be right. And tried to get in there, but there was absolutely no room. You're not allowed to anchor, as I've said before, in the Posidonia seagrass, and that is all good and correct, and I support that all the way. And which restricts the anchoring areas. And as I say, anywhere that's got a bit of nightlife is chock-a-block. So we both tried to get into the anchorage at Cala Portinach, couldn't find a space big enough, and left again and went round the corner to the next bigger bay where there was actually lots and lots of room, but no nightlife, and anchored up there. It didn't bother us because our plan was to move on the very next day. So.
Yeah, same shirt, different day. 8 o'clock start this morning because we are heading to Mallorca. We're leaving Ibiza, crossing to Mallorca. It's just over 50 miles, but it should be light today. You might get a bit of sailing, we hope. But one big reason is that the first half of next week, today's Sunday, is forecast to be blowy. There's a mistral that's coming all the way down to here. Mistral's a northerly wind blowing out of the Gulf of Lyon, France, but it comes all the way to here, and nowhere on the north side of Ibiza will be protected from it. So we are, but the west side of Mallorca will be. It's in the wind shadow there, so we're going to cross over there, sit out those few days, and then we will have crossed to Mallorca, of course. 50 odd miles, I say, just get out of this bay. It should be a straight line then, really. Easy in terms of course setting. See what the wind's doing. Very light at the moment, to the point of almost nothing. But dare say it'll be another warm one. But it's been steady 30 degrees since we've been in the islands, really. So it's not, we haven't had that heat wave that a lot of Europe has had. It's the sort of temperature I at least would expect around here at this time of year. It still gets warm. Gets you sweating. Yeah, the rocks are just glorious. Like yesterday, the cliffs and rocks, all sorts of little caves, and beautiful. Look at that sunlight streaming through there. So, well, the latest forecast shows no wind at all. We've been watching this day for probably the best part of a week as a crossing day, and looked like we'd have some sailing for half of it or whatever, but if the latest forecast is right, it's going to be a motor. But I made some coffee, lit the stove. It's calm, making good speed on the motor because it's so calm, doing over 4.5, and it's very, very comfortable and easy, really. Long may that continue. Touch the wood somewhere. What does a sailor do on a long motoring passage? Gets out the good old Solvo Autosol and toothbrush. Cleans up the stainless. Look at that. Lovely. Now it's a bit done. A lot more to do. So I've got the foresail up, and I'll just turn that around gently. There it is. And if you can see Hazel over there, you'll see she's got a mizzen up. So in both cases we've got the smaller of our two sails up. They are doing basically nothing in terms of propulsion. No, nothing really. But they play perhaps two roles. It's something we often put them up if we're motoring. it's really calm today, but if it weren't so calm, they help steady the boat, which is a good thing. And the other thing they certainly do is make you more visible. So you know, arguably when you're motoring in calm weather such as this, having a sail up slows you down a bit, but I haven't, as a common claim, you know, looking at the speed on the log, I couldn't say that there's much truth in that. If, then it's a tiddly inconsequential amount, but certainly steadies you if you've got some swell running from residual stuff, and as I say, certainly makes you more visible. So there are advantages to it. Yeah, on a day like today, it's questionable whether I should really bother, because it doesn't need steadying, probably exposing more of the sail to the UV of the sun. But you know, swings and roundabouts, it's up, it's doing its thing. Food time, lunchtime, couple of wraps. Gotta stay fair, haven't you? And this is pretty much the halfway mark now. So this is bang in the middle of the gap between Ibiza and Mallorca. Obviously it's not flat like this every day, but it's amazing. Making our approaches. It's about 7 in the evening. Quite a long day, but we're coming in, looking good. So that's a thumbs up. I don't know if you see all this chop here as we're coming in, and this is caused entirely by boats, mainly speaking large power boats running around. There's almost no wind, there's no waves running, all the way over it's been perfectly flat. When you get in where the boats are rushing around, it gets pretty choppy. We've met this before when we come into Formentera. And comes and goes, of course, depending on what's running around, but they do chop it up some. In Formentera there were lots of very high-speed ferries running around which really did chop them up. Here I only see large motorboats. Even so, pretty lumpy, relatively.
Now it has to be said that waves and chop simply do not come out, particularly on these little GoPro lenses. It's the same thing when I'm trying to show you Hazel. If she's not directly alongside me, the little lens on the GoPro doesn't do it any sort of justice, but there you go. Now the same thing that I mentioned earlier happened again here. So we arrived at Mallorca, we had a anchorage bookmarked, we checked on Navally, that sounded a great anchorage, and we went in there, and again there's a little town there, and again completely full. We tried for 3/4 of an hour to find a space to get the hook down, gave up, left, went round to the next little bay where there's much less activity, and dropped the hook there. Stayed there just the one night, I believe, and then moved on. the next day, because this is the other thing that you get in the Balearic Islands, is that they do cop a bit of wind, but particularly when there's Mistral blowing from the Gulf of Leon, it reaches down to these islands. It often curves around to these islands, and so that combination of wind and fullness actually does create some problems, because you've got to find somewhere safe to tuck in and get out of the way of the wind when it's coming, and of course the safe spots are super busy. Well, just a short one today. We've got this wind coming in, and it's a little unclear. The forecasts don't agree on it, and so we've decided just to hop around to a little bay 6 miles further around where there are mooring buoys. It's a very protected bay. We'll have to pay, unfortunately, but that's life. It'll certainly be safe, and that's what we're doing. But the beauty of it today is that we managed to pretty much sail off the anchor. Did motor just off it, but as soon as we're out of the anchorage, sail up, and we're sailing around, making decent speed. Going to windward at the moment, west forward of the beam at least, but once we make the turn, it'll be behind us, I think, and we'll have a lovely little run. It should be a nice short sail. Few boats out. What we're seeing. It's been falling over. Yeah, flying along on the beam wind now. Not far to go actually. Turning in after this next headland. Down to our mooring. Beautiful. It's very busy out here. Yeah, there's a motorboat coming past now, so you get a bit of shot from all these motorboats. And some big old boats around. So we're about to jibe here. There he goes. All we've got to do is hold it, and all is fairly well. Yeah, Tapatya.
So, I don't know if you heard that when I was on the phone with the lady, but it was supposed to call on channel 9 and stay in the channel.
Channel 9 and what?
Stay in the middle of the channel or the voice.
Alright, you got that. And what's this place called? Who are we calling?
One moment. Puerto Andrax.
Puerto Andrax. Alrighty, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I heard that on the phone, so yeah, that's all clear. Thanks for the reminder. The middle of the channel bit, I forgot the channel 9.
Yeah, okay. You called me at, I think I'm going to call them one step past before.
Alright, mate, good. Well, I'm not far behind there. I can see they've dropped the sounds and I'll be dropping mine soon.
Yeah, okay. See you later.
We'll do. Oh, we gusted. So here we are. I'll just walk you forwards and talk about this place a little bit. So we're in, what's it called? Andrach.
Andratch on mooring balls. So there's the mooring ball. They're tied up there with 2 bow lines. The staff here, they call them marineros throughout Spain really. They come out, they're very helpful, very good, help you moor, show you where to go, very, very nice, friendly. Let's have a little pan around the old place. There it is. Mountains in the background. Shops and restaurants over there. All very beautiful. Yes, that's all very good. This is Mallorca. And all of Balearics are fairly expensive for marinas, moorings and the like. And this isn't too shocking. So basically, from what I can work out, the price in high season, which it is now of course, is €2 per metre of boat length per night, which is €20 for Tapatya, plus tourist tax. And if you stay for one night, you have to pay tourist tax on every day you've started. So you pay 2 days tourist tax if you're here for one night. If you're here for 2 nights, you pay 3 days tourist tax and so on. Tourist tax seems to be €3.50 a day. So, you know, for this part of the world, not shocking. And it'll do us for a few days, that's for sure. I say supermarkets down there, restaurants down there. There's a fuel dock somewhere. I haven't worked out where, but somewhere there's a fuel dock where we can fill up our jerry jugs. So it's quite good. I hope there's a laundry somewhere. That'd be nice, because it's time to do a bit of laundry. But other than that, great place. Very narrow entrance up there. So protected from all sorts of winds, except for one in exactly that direction. So good place to be. There's a bit of, as I say, a bit of wind forecast next couple of days, and hopefully this will work out well. It's a good place to be for it. We're here anyhow, and it's nice. It's nice. I'm happy to be here. And enjoy it we did, and we did indeed go ashore to the supermarket and stocked up with freshies and bits of food that we needed. We went ashore with our jerry jugs and got fuel, had a lovely snorkel up around the rocks on the side there, even got out into a bit of evening life, which is delightful. It's a lovely spot. Andratch, I can recommend it if you're in that part of the world. And yep, that is it for this week. We are actually holed up again here, have been for a few days, hiding away from some gusty, windy, mistral-y stuff. I hope the noises aren't disturbing you, because it is very gusty, and was last night. It really wasn't a particularly good sleep last night. But as I say, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching, as ever. A massive thank you to the lovely people who help out here by supporting us via Patreon and paypal.me. Yeah, and of course I do put updates, particularly when we're underway, up on the Patreon site, so if you're interested, get over there, have a look. Talk to you soon. Bye.